Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Double9radio.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I am fantastic.
As always, fantastic. You know, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you on the show as well.
Why are you excited?
I know. I'm usually not this excited when I have guests on 35 and Social, but for some reason, I don't know, the excitement just overcame me. I couldn't hold myself, but I'm so excited to have you on the show. Amazing. But I'm sure my listeners are wondering, why is Double 9 excited on 35 and Social? He's usually not that excited on this show because he's always talking about mature dating. Who's this amazing person that's making him excited today? Huh? Who is this person? I don't know. But without further ado, I don't want to keep them in much suspense. Can you tell us, who do we have on the show today?
Hi, my name is Feyi Luther. So what else do you want me to say?
See, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, I don't know, she's feeling very humble today or something. She's just trying to hold that excitement back. But, I must say, welcome to the show, Feyi. It's great to have you on the show. But I must say this,
Hi.
When we had a conversation about,
Yes.
the name, I'm thinking,
I know.
Because
I
was about to say it. You see, the energy is flowing.
Yes.
The energy is flowing.
I did. So I told him off because he was asking me what name I wanted to use. And I said I wanted to use my full Yoruba name, which is Oba Feyi Kemi Luther. And he was like,
I'm just thinking of my diverse listeners out there. But, Oba Femi Feyi Luther is a fantastic name. I actually love the surname, Luther.
Yes,
It reminds me of a superhero. Maybe you're a superhero. Maybe you are. Who knows?
I think I just might be.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think she is. But we'll share more information about this fantastic individual we have on the show today. Today we're on the 35 and Social show, talking about mature dating, as you know, on this show. As I mentioned earlier as well, you can call into the studio live. We'd love, to hear your point of view as well on discussions we have on the show. The number is 074 956 36899. That's 074 956 36899. If you're calling from out of the UK, it's plus 4474 956 36899. Again, you can send us a text live into the studio or call directly, not WhatsApp calls, call directly into the studio or only send up WhatsApp messages. Again, Feyi, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you taking our time to come on the show. Okay, let's get right into it.
All right. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
I can't believe that. Ladies and gentlemen, I know. She's trying to have me on. She's trying to set me up, telling me that she's nervous. No, I'm the one that's nervous because she's amazing, But anyway, let's get to it. We're here talking about mature dating today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah. From your point of view, what do you? What would you say dating is? How would you describe dating?
Dating. I think dating is like a battlefield.
Okay.
It's like going into uncharted waters. Like I really kind of I admire everyone who sort of, takes this, stand to decide that they want to sort of get their feet wet in this murky waters of, it's just like an adventure. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to, come at you. It's just something that you just have to go in with your heart open, and your eyes just trusting and saying, you know what, I give myself to this process. So I think dating is just, it's adventurous for those who dare.
I mean, two words I picked up there is a battlefield and it's adventurous. I think they do go together, isn't it? Because when you go into a battlefield, you have to have this sense of adventure that anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. You can go in there. But I love that definition. It's a battlefield, it's an adventure. You have to be open to see what's out there and also trusting.
You have to.
Which is another thing. Okay, so we get that definition, a battlefield and adventure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, we're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. She likes adventure.
Definitely.
She likes adventure.
It is.
It is. I would agree because, as you know, dating, as we mentioned, it's meeting different people. You don't know who's who. You're just trying to get to know them, innit? Do you know what I mean? And as you said, you have to go in there with a bit of an open mind, a bit of a trusting type of sense of maybe
An open heart.
Open heart. You know, maybe you will
heart.
meet that, you know, person that you're after. Okay, so how would you describe, apart from being a battlefield as you describe dating, the dating scene in London? How would you describe that?
So I'm new to the dating scene in London. I don't know much about it. I'm still kind of like in an in-between situation, so I haven't yet ventured out in that direction. But I have friends who are dating, and they come back with these amazing stories, and I'm always like, gosh, I'm not sure if I'm ready for like the London dating scene. It seems like there are quite a few interesting characters out there, but you know, my friends seem to love it. They all seem to think that it's but when I say love it, it's like a love-hate relationship. It's like, oh God, here we go again. But everyone's sort of like willing to explore, and just hoping that they don't meet, you know, crazies, and that you get a good set of normal people. But dating has changed. It's changed. It's changed so much. It has changed. You know, from the stories I hear, it has changed. You know, so I'm quite interested to hear more and to know what people are facing.
I mean, when you mentioned you're not quite you know, into the London dating scene at present. You know?
Yes.
So
I used to live in Nigeria.
Okay.
Have been married. Just recently separated. So I'm still sort of fresh and still not yet ready for that, because we're still working things out.
We never know when we're ready, do we? We never know. We never know. We never know.
You know, we don't know what the future holds yet.
Exactly.
But, you know,
we never know.
I just think that people just listening. So I've just moved back to London now. You know, so it's kind of I have, and then COVID. So I'm like, how are people, you know, doing this? But I see that people are. I have friends who've been, you know, different sorts of like online dating, you know, matchmaking services and stuff. So it seems like people are still.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we had a session, you know, tagged entanglement last week, you know, where we tried to get people pandemic bays on the show, and it was quite successful. Where, you know, we tagged four people together, 2 ladies and 2 guys. We'll be bringing that back anyway, where, you know, it gave them an opportunity to have a conversation and see if they were compatible, and you know,
I think that would be good.
It will be good. It will be good. I'm sure we will bring you back on that one as well. Okay, so dating in London. Okay, it's not something you're very familiar with yet, but you'll be having a lot of stories from your friends who have been sharing some, you know, some, I don't know, scary, exciting,
very interesting
type of stories with you. Okay, but I'm sure, as you mentioned, as you define what, you know, what dating is, you did say it's an adventure. So you need to be, you know, adventurous and open, which is, this is what we're trying to do on here as well. Okay, but with that, we know it's a battlefield adventure, open-hearted. Would you date multiple partners at the same time?
I'm not. That is something that, and I think that is one of the things, especially with mature dating. And this is like the advice that I give to my friends. I tell them, you know, people have to be, and that's why I was talking about a battlefield and also being open. I think people need to learn to be truthful, truthful about what they're looking for, truthful about what they're willing to put in. I think that a lot more people would probably have multiple partners. And when I say multiple, I think you have to define it, you know, whether you're just, I think, you know, when it's still sort of like platonic, you can have multiple partners. And if you do decide that you want to get sexual, I think you need to let people know that, you know what, we're not exclusive yet. So I'm still seeing people and I'm still sort of putting my options out there. But I just think people need to be truthful. And I think when you get to a certain age, I think people need to stop playing games. And I think people just need to be more forthright about what they're looking for.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
that's just how.
Totally would agree with that. You know, the point you made there, which is when, you know, the platonic, you know, relationship now moves to more of a bit of a intimate relationship, All the people need to be made aware of what's happening. Are you okay with this? Do you want to be intimate with me as well? That kind of thing, or not? Just put everybody into the light. But the question still remains. I want to know if Feyi, sorry, I know you're coming at me, Sue.
Feyi, I honestly, I am not. I do. I have. Well, when you say multiple, please just explain further. When you say, like, I wouldn't be, if I had just started dating and I was talking to different people, I think I would be open to talking to different people and letting them know that, look, I haven't made my decision. But I think once I do make a decision, I would be able to sort of, be with one person. But I think, again, it's part of conversation. If you are sort of seeing someone and you find someone else that you have a connection with, you just have to be open with your partner to say, look, I'm finding someone else attractive, and how are we going to handle this? And that's what I was saying about people being more honest. And that's what I find that is missing a lot with people in various situations. People are not honest. Because there are a lot of people who don't mind having multiple partners. There are a lot of people who are open to open relationships. But I think it's just everyone must be on the same page. Because if that person doesn't want to be in that kind of relationship, then it's kind of unfair to put them in a situation that they're not prepared for. So I think the more honest you are from the get-go, so if you know that you want to have multiple partners, you need to tell whoever you're seeing from the beginning that, look, I'm not ready for exclusive dating. I do want to be able to have multiple partners or, see other people. And then if that person says no, then you know that that's not the person for you.
Okay, fantastic. I
know it sounds simple, but...
Yeah, I know it sounds simple, but it can get quite complicated if people are not straightforward.
Yeah.
The reason I did ask the question again was because, I just wanted to get that sense of, where your thought process was. When we asked, or when I asked the question about what dating was, you described that as a battlefield and an adventure, and you have to be open-hearted. So I'm kind of trying to get that sense where would you be talking to, and you've actually made it very clear you can be talking to multiple people at the same time, and not be intimate with them doesn't do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So okay. So we can say that's a yes.
Yes. I mean, you can if you're sort of like, as I said, before you become intimate with someone, I think at the beginning, and I would advise everyone to be sort of be open to meeting other people first before, especially if you've just started out in the dating pool. I wouldn't, say, oh, the first person you meet is the first person you should just settle down with. I would say, see other people, just, open your cards, let other people in first of all before you make a decision. And even when you do, just have a clear idea of the kind of conversation and how you want to sort of, am I ready to just be,
exclusive?
Monogamous? Exclusive, exactly. Exclusive to one person. Okay. And it's just the conversation. And that's what I mean. For me, I think most things just stem from how honest people want to be. And again, I'm going to stress the fact that if we're talking about mature dating, then people need to be at a point where, we played games when we were younger. We did all those silly things when we were younger. So I think at this age, I'm at a stage in my life where, if I was to, start dating or start seeing people, I want to be open and I want to be able to say, look, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. I don't want anyone messing around with me. I don't want anyone who wants to play games. I don't want anyone who is not being honest. If you decide that you want to see other people, at least tell me and let me know. Let me make the decision.
Fantastic.
If I want to be in that situation or not.
Yes.
If I like you enough, I might be.
Possibly. So that will take me to the next question.
It's just about you being honest.
Yes.
You don't mess around and, tell lies, because there are other people who would be interested in that.
Of course.
But at least if I find you attractive, if I feel like there's a connection, and you're honest with me, you never know.
You never know. I mean, honesty is very important. You never know. Exactly. Again, going back to that definition, being open-hearted, isn't it? Being open-hearted.
Yes.
Express.
There's something that. What are we afraid of? We're afraid of rejection, right? What are we really afraid of? We're afraid of that someone's going to say, "Well, I'm not down for that." Well, if that person says they're not down for that, another person will be. So why waste your time with someone who is not going to want to be the person that you need?
Wow.
Do you understand? Like,
Yes.
I don't understand why people,
Conform
how many
to-
people are there in this world? Like, there's so many people. And if people were more honest about their feelings, about their wants, their needs, then we won't have all these games. Because you meet someone, you see all the red flags. Why are you still there? Like, just move on to the next person. Very simple.
Yes, you're quite right.
At this point, in our life.
Amazing. I feel like I'm even learning a lot of things today. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that I should be the one that should be nervous, on this show. But, she was trying to set me up there saying that she was nervous. But no, she's full of knowledge.
My name is Feyi Kemi.
Oh my gosh.
And you haven't even asked me what the name means.
Okay, let's actually go back to that. Let's go back to that. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I told you on this show that you don't want to miss this show today. Do tell a friend to let them log in, because this is going to be amazing. This is going to be hot. One of the best shows I anticipate as well. So what does Feyi Kemi means?
Okay, so Feyi Kemi is a Yoruba name, and it's a name that means God, the Creator, gave this child to me as a gift to love and pamper.
Oh my word.
So since I know the power of my name, I'm not going to sort of mess around and wait for people to sort of mess around with me, because I know that I'm a gift, and I'm meant for pampering, and I'm meant to be a gift to someone else to care and pamper them as well.
Amazing.
Exactly. So you see why Feyi was just not enough.
I know. I see now. The lesson learned. I see. Thank you. Okay, so let's get back into the dating world again. So,
All right.
You describe, dating as the battlefield, the adventure, and you have to be open as well. And also we got the clarity around that, multiple dating. Yes, you can multiple date, but you have to make sure everyone involved or you're involved with is aware of what's happening if you start to get intimate with one or two people or one person. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Things like that. So
it's just honesty.
Honesty is very, very important.
Yeah.
So from your point of view, what will be the do's and don'ts of dating?
Oh, do's and don'ts. Okay, so my number one do, of course, I think I've already said it, is just being clear, knowing what you want.
Yeah.
From that we have from a woman's point of view, women normally have this list of what they want. Oh, he has to be tall, handsome, but they're values that you look for when you're dating. And if you have like a list of 10, right, and you have like a top 5, if that person meets that criteria, like, okay, he's honest, he's kind, he's hardworking, like, those kind of things, if those things are there, I think we can sort of play around with the other things, but you have to make sure that you're clear about what you want from a partnership. And once you see, so it's a do and a don't together. So once you see that, once you have that clear, so like for me, I would probably say, for me, height is definitely a thing. I'm 5'9", so height is definitely a thing for me.
I mean, Feyi,
now I can budge from that.
I want us to look at not the physicality or the looks or the character yet.
Yeah.
We will come to that, but I want to get to when you're in the dating scene, when you're actually dating. In that dating arena where you're now going on dates, this fantastic gentleman has taken you out on a date. Do you kiss on the first date, for example? Do you allow him to hold your hands for example? So what are the do's and don'ts around that?
Okay. Well, so you see, now this is another thing. Like, I strictly don't believe in rules. And when I say I don't believe in rules, I mean, I think, and again, we're going to stress, we're talking about matured dating. I think when you get to a point in your life, someone like me, I go with my my attraction.
Okay.
I go with my gut feeling. So I'm not gonna, if I meet someone who I am totally attracted to, the chemistry is right, and it feels right.
Yeah.
Then for me, that I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna kiss you on the first day. I'm not gonna do this no. So that's why I say I don't think that you can actually make hard or fast rules at a particular point. One of the things that I would say is, be sure about your safety. Just those kind of things you should have in the bag. But if you kind of have done all your checks, make sure, you kind of know that this person is not like well, you can't really know, but again, you're going on your gut feelings. But if you ever have any kind of niggling feelings, you feel unsure, listen to your gut. That's guys and girls both, I always go with my gut feelings. So if I feel uncomfortable, if something feels off, I'm going to listen to that more than any like rules and regulations, like do's and don'ts. So I don't have any clear do's and don'ts because they shift.
Okay. It's adaptable. Yeah. It's adaptable to the situation.
It has to be. I mean, like for me, it's never one size fits all because each person, I'm a person that goes on energy. So if I'm with someone and that energy feels off, I'm going to listen to that. So it's not about whether you're handsome or anything, but if the energy is off, that's it. It's like nothing else can move after that because the energy has to be right. Okay. And that's for me. And that's why I said, like, I can't give, every person has to listen to themselves because we all have like an internal guiding system.
Yeah.
We don't listen to it a lot of times.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
We do have an internal guiding system and you kind of know. So sometimes, you'll meet people and like, I'm sure you've been in relationships and at the first time you knew something was off, but you still, you still went down that road.
Yeah.
And then when it went, bad, you're like, oh, sorry, I was going to, you kind of picked yourself because you knew that you had the feeling at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
That something wasn't right, but you kept pushing it because, she was gorgeous, she had a nice figure, or she had, there were things that your tick boxes were there.
Yeah.
But if you listen to your inner voice, you knew that you weren't supposed to be in that situation. So I would always, that would be my do. Listen to your inner, gut feeling. If you meet someone and it feels off, darling, pick up your bag and leave.
Okay, so that one of them will be listen to your gut feeling. Listen to that inner voice telling you.
Listen to your inner voice. Yes, your inner voice. It and if your inner voice is telling you, "Ooh, child," listen to that as well. But if your inner voice tells you to get out there, please get out there. Exactly.
Okay. Don't ignore the alarm bells.
Yes. Don't ignore the warning signs. The warning signs most of the time are never wrong.
Okay. I mean, you mentioned something while you're, trying to discuss around the do's and don'ts. You mentioned something slightly there. You said, when you do your checks. I just wanted to touch on that again. When you say checks, what are we referring to?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you're dating. So, like, if I met, like, let's say, you introduced me to a friend of yours, right? And you were like, hey, you guys, and we hit it off. I would come back to you and do the necessary checks, like, know more about him. Is he married?
Okay.
Is he single? Does he have any, does he have an anger problem? Does he have, those kind of things that are important to me.
Yeah, you're
at
right.
the beginning.
Those
kind of checks, that's what I mean.
Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to give away,
What did you think I was talking about?
This is what I was going to say, because I've had, guests on the show who talked about checks. I'm like, checks. I mean, I've actually learned things on this show. What some females do.
People do. I mean, you check out people. I mean, I know people who do. You'll check out your Facebook, your, Instagram. I mean, that's fine. You'll look someone up and just see, whether the person is who they really say they are.
Yeah.
If you can't, especially in this new world that we're in, where a lot of times, I'm a bit older, but when I was younger, I never dated anyone who I didn't know someone that they knew.
Okay.
So, there was always somebody who I could go back to and be like, hey, you need to check your boys. But now that we have things like internet dating, people are meeting people without mutual connections, it's a bit harder for you to be able to assess, the person's dating history, does the person have, were there many red flags? Is he a good person? Is he not a good person? Is he someone that you should be dating at all? Okay. But like now we have to kind of go off things like, okay.
But I would share a tip, a lady mentioned on the show, but I wouldn't do that now. I'll do it before the end of the show. I will share it. Okay. But now you know the do's and don'ts. If the alarm bells are going off, just take a just take a break and just move on. As you mentioned, if it's all good, you're all feeling good, you're all feeling nice.
Yeah.
You stay and have the conversation and things like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned that the rules can be adaptable depending on the situation.
depending, exactly.
Okay.
Because
So
you can't sort of like, you have to see how you, like, if your first date goes well,
yeah.
I think guys don't have this, well, I don't believe that guys have this problem, but girls, I mean, women, ladies have this problem more, in which a lot of women kind of second guess themselves. They're like, oh, if I kiss him on the first date, if I sleep with him on the first date, he's going to think I'm this, he's going to think I'm that.
I mean, but what are your expectations on that first date? On the first date, you're talking about first date. What were your expectations on the first date?
For me, my expectations on the first date are very, like, it's just attraction. Am I attracted to this person? Does he make me laugh? You know, do I feel comfortable with him? So those are my expectations on the first date. Okay. It's the energy. That's what we're saying. And after that, if there's energy and it, you know, if it's one of those dates that is just amazing, then it's whatever I decide that I'm going to allow to happen.
Okay. Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, the energy has to be entwined. If the energy is flowing, then yes.
You know. Because you can't lie about energy. You can lie about your story. You can lie about, you know, who you are and stuff, but you can't lie about your connection.
No, you can't.
I mean, connections can't be faked.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're quite right.
So if I'm feeling a spark, and like if he's like coming on to me and I'm not feeling a spark, then that's a definite no. So if my thing is that if I, you know, I'm attracted to you and I act on those impulses, it doesn't matter to me what you think afterwards.
Wow.
Because I was settled within myself and I was okay with anything that happened.
Okay, because you felt that attraction, that energy was there for you.
That's for me. I can't speak about anyone else, but like for me, the kind of person I am, if I'm attracted to you and on the first day, if I kiss you, if anything else happens, then I have to be settled with myself that it was my choice. I never want to be in a position where my choice is taken away from me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, so what kind of questions are acceptable on a first date?
What kind of
questions would be acceptable on the first date? Do you have kind of like, you know, any question or just...
I think with the first date, again, for me, it's, it depends on how, like, if we are comfortable and we're talking, and that's why I don't think that you can, well, I hope that people aren't, I know there's some people who plan these things, and if you plan these things, I think that it already means that the connection isn't right. But if you go on a first date with someone, do you know that there's some people that you speak to and it just flows? That's the kind of thing that I like. And then it doesn't matter what kind of questions come up.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Because it's just flowing.
Yeah.
But if you have to think of this question list.
Yeah. But it's not.
That you want to tick.
It's not.
I don't work like that.
I understand. But my point is, you know, I've had, you know, discussions and you know, on how people relate during dating and things like that. But during that flow, as you mentioned, yes, you can have this fantastic flow with an individual and you ask a question where maybe that person feels a bit, why are you asking me that question? And it just destroys the flow. So...
Okay, so the kind of question it's very difficult because I think it's personal to each person.
Okay.
For me, I don't think that there are many questions that, you know, that it would depend. Like, as I said, if it's someone who I feel that I want to share with, if not, I'll just say, well, that's not something I'm willing to answer now. I mean, it's very simple. I mean, as I said, because I have a clear idea of who I am, I think if you ask a question that I'm not ready to answer, I'll just let you know I don't know you that well.
Okay.
It's just not a question that I'm ready to answer. That's the kind of honesty that I think people should have. If there's a question that you don't feel that you're able to answer or you're not ready to answer, you can just say, I'm just not ready to answer that, and you can just move on.
Okay. So for you, you're quite open to any question, but if you don't feel comfortable with it, you would say if I don't feel comfortable with the person, if I don't feel that the question that you're asking me is appropriate for the situation, then it's like on our first date, you come and start asking me what my sexual preferences are, or what kind of sex I like to have. I think exactly. I mean, yeah. So on the first date,
I think if you start asking me about how much I have in my bank account on the first date, that's pushing it.
Uh-huh.
But again, it would, if the conversation flowed in such a way that, as I said, there's some people that I've met that we've had such amazing conversations that even when those things came up, we could laugh about it, or we could just flow. So it definitely depends on the connection that I have with that person. And if I just feel like, well, it's not going to hurt me answering the question. But if anything happens and I feel uncomfortable, then I'm just going to stop it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we did get some questions that would not be acceptable, as you mentioned. All those kind of funny questions. But I mean, Feyi, how would you describe a perfect date? We've talked about the do's and don'ts. We talked about the adventure. We talked about dating multiple partners. But you found this person. You go on this fantastic date. The expectations on the first date is the conversation is flowing. But in your mind, is it the perfect date? Is it walking down the Thames, down the Thames, getting on a boat, sailing down the Thames as well into the sunset with a violin playing in the background, and the guy serenading you? Is that
I think for a first date, should be something very casual. A first date should be like going for a walk, having some hot chocolate, or going to a cafe. That's, again, for me, something very simple, something that's not too, there are no strings attached at the end of it. Both of you could just go your separate ways if you're not comfortable, or if you are comfortable, it can continue on. So, if you meet at a cafe, or if you meet, for a walk, or somewhere just to have, a drink, would be, and for me, on a first date, it wouldn't be somewhere where I would want to get into a lot of, for me, again. I wouldn't want to get into a lot of alcohol or anything, because I want to keep a clear mind. I want to be able to assess myself and make sure that what I'm feeling for this person is right. So again, I'd say, have a coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee, so have tea, have chocolate, have something very casual would be a first date for me. But I would also want to see how his mind thinks. So if he's kind of coming up with, I think that a man should take lead in, the kind of dates he wants to have. It lets me see what kind of man he is, whether he's able to speak to me about the kinds of things I like, and then he can plan a date accordingly.
Okay.
And then we can agree.
Okay. So, upscale restaurant or Nando's?
For the first date?
Yeah.
I would go to Nando's.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Again, it depends, so for a first date, I wouldn't mind Nando's for a first date. If I like you and we're going on a second date, then an upscale restaurant would be very nice.
Okay. I mean, we had stories regarding that, the answer to that question. I mean, I had a guest on the show who said the first day the guy took her to a prayer meeting. I'm like, okay,
So what?
A prayer meeting.
No, that's not a first date, though.
That's exactly what happened.
But you see, that's why you're supposed. You see, so I would expect that before you went on a first date, you've had a conversation. And I think he would tell you where you're going on a first date. And so once he tells me I'm going to a prayer meeting, I'll let him know that that's not a first date for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Once we get to know each other and everything, then maybe I can come to a prayer, but not my first date. With my first date for you, we cannot be going to a prayer meeting. I'm sorry, I love God, but hey, that's not a first date.
Of course, fantastic. Okay, let's talk about social media. We briefly touched on that just a minute ago. I mean, what effect do you think social media has had on the dating scene?
I think that social media is such a, it's like you love it, you hate it. It's like a whole bag of, it's so many things. I love social media, but at the same time, I can see the cons. I think this new world, I don't like so much the fact that we don't have as many personal connections anymore. People can create the reality that they want you to see. Not everything on social media is as it is, so that's the part that sort of is not so nice about social media. But again, the things that I love about social media is the fact that you have the ability to be able to meet people that you might not naturally meet.
Yeah.
You know, so I have friends all over the world now because of social media. People who have become very good friends in real life. But again, they're people who I thought that this was what they were like, and then found out that it wasn't. It was like a fake, an illusion that they had created.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about social media that for me is a bit, that people, there's so many things, you see pictures of people and they're not how they look, or they don't present themselves in the way that, they are really in real life. I think that's where I struggle, because I tend to just be myself, A lot of times I have pictures, I'm not wearing makeup, or I just like to show myself because I don't want people to be shocked when they see me.
Exactly. And I love your TikTok videos, by the way.
Again, it's a thing about truth and honesty and authenticity. I like for people to be truthful and to be honest. It doesn't take anything away from you to be honest, and real. And because at the end of the day, people are still going to find out the truth, so why bother?
So you think dating scene has had like a bit of an adverse effect or negative effect on the dating scene? Was it allowed people to create a facade around themselves, or is it?
I think so, and I think especially with like online dating, I think it's difficult to try and assess someone by a picture or about by their their bio, or just some words. Like, how do you put a whole human being in like a few sentences? How do you put someone, their personality? Like, you can't really assess someone. So even on social media, I always send a video, and I always get people, like, if I'm going to someone's DMs, like especially for business or something, I always leave a video, because I think you can get a clearer idea of who I am, what I sound like, and that I'm a real person.
Exactly.
And there's no catfish situation,
Fantastic.
So and even if someone is sending me a message, I always get them to, send me a DM, a voice note, or a video, so that I can really see who you are.
Okay. So, dating apps, do you use them, or, or would you advise on using them, or against, or you against or for dating apps?
I am very open to. My friend met her husband on, a dating website, so I cannot knock it. They've been together for 6 years now, 5-6 years. So I can't knock, on online dating apps. I personally haven't had any luck on them, so I'm not, but I won't say no. I have many friends who've had very good experiences on dating sites, and I also have people who've had nightmares. So I think it's the new way. I still believe in real life connections, and sort of, I'm the kind of person who would have like a dinner group for people so that they can actually meet each other and connect in that way. I still think it's more organic for me.
Yeah. With social media, you mentioned earlier about catfishing, which is quite common on there.
Yes.
A lot of people find that a lot of people come on there, pretend to be who they're not, and things like. Again, like it's like Instagram as well. But I still think they still have the positive sides to it as well. Especially for the women. One of the tips I was going to mention earlier was females doing a bit of due diligence. What are your thoughts on this? I've had a guest on the show who said, for them to do a bit of like checks or due diligence, on the partner or potential partner, what they would do is go on social media, post a picture of that individual, and caption it, "Is this your man?"
Well, because
is that something that you would do?
Point.
Sorry?
Because unfortunately, a lot of men tend to lie. I'm sorry, I don't mean to generalize. I really hate generalizing.
I don't know. Yes.
Find...
let's balance it out. Women do it too.
So women do, but I think that guys are more likely, because first of all, it's the kind of world we live in.
I don't like the word
men
likely. I don't like the word likely. I think it's balanced on this note.
You asked for my point.
Okay, let's say your point.
This is how I've seen it, right?
Okay.
I've just seen that guys just tend to be like, if you meet a guy, like just like many guys who are married, especially, like, just come out and be like, I'm married. Like, simple.
Exactly.
Like, there are women who will still date you even if you're married.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, yeah, okay, a lot of people do kind of hide behind lies.
Exactly.
That. Yeah.
So, like, for me, it's like, why can't you be honest? And then why can't you just go after the women who want to have something to do with married men? It's very, like, there are women out there. Like, there's no need to falsely advertise yourself. There's no need to, like, as I said, I am just separated right now.
Okay.
So I'm not able to yet, but I will say so to people. So if I'm ready to I can have a conversation with someone, but I'm ready to be able to say, look, I'm not able to take this further yet until I have sorted out my situation. But I've met men who I know are married who will come out and, you know, make themselves being single and whatever. And I'm just like, but why? Like, why can't you just say, look, I'm married and this is what I want, and give the person an opportunity to be able to say, yes, I'm down for this, or no, I'm not. And if she's not, then move on to the next person, because there are more people out there who are probably going to say yes.
Anyway, a disclaimer, we're not encouraging married men.
Yes, we're not no, but we're still,
we're just having a conversation.
Yeah,
and it's
honest, because that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, so many people are, I'm not saying that people should do this, but there's still honesty. And yes, it's a disclaimer. We're not advocating, but it is the honesty of life and the fact that people just need to be more open about their situation and give people a choice. I think people need to be able to have free will to make their own decisions, you know, in life. And that's basically my idea of give the person a chance to be able to say yes or no. I don't want to be involved in this, or I want to be involved in this.
Okay.
And that's really what a lot of, like, I know a lot of women that I know just ask for. Just be honest, simple.
Yeah. So do you subscribe to the action of you know, that due diligence of putting you know, the potential partner on the social media and captioning it, is this your man? You know, do you subscribe to that?
I'm not going to say, I mean, I know, I understand why women do it. I totally do. I'm not really for it. I'm not for or against it. That's the truth. I'm either way. But I understand why women do it.
You know, but
I truly understand why, especially when you're investing emotions in it.
I understand that.
I understand.
I understand. But if we look at it, you know, on the other side, you know, I always try and balance it out. If a man went on social media,
of course, if a man does that, then I mean, if a woman is not being clear about her situation, then yeah, put her picture up on there as well and say, you know, is this woman is this your woman?
Oh no. Yeah.
I mean, I think that we need to also be able to be, you know, to be honest and say, you know, yeah, I'm here, this is me, I'm out here, you know, this is what I'm doing. But it's if people were honest, then maybe people wouldn't have to run around and, you know, hide and
create a facade around themselves, you know. Okay.
Exactly.
So, you know, this person you like to date, suppose, you know, sometime in the future, now, who knows? I don't know. What would they look like in appearance?
I told you already that for me, tall is not a deal breaker. So the person would have to be above 5'10".
What?
At least 5'11".
Oh my gosh, that's like maybe 1% of men in the world. You know,
what? It's not 1%. I don't think it's 1%. Are you telling me that most guys are below 5'10"?
Of course, 5'10".
Really?
That's quite a tall.
Well, I just said, like, I'm 5'9", and I really would like.
I mean,
when I do decide, or if ever, I would like for my man to be taller than I am.
Maybe stop wearing heels, mate. Anyway.
Well, if he's wearing heels, then he'll have to be really funny. He has to be willing to, I will be very honest, he has to be willing to spoil me. He must get on like a house on fire. He must be ready to cook as well as sometimes. He has to love children. There are like so many things. And he has to love animals. So if he's short, then he has to have the rest of the package. And he has to be good in bed too. So there are many, many, many things that come with, you know, if I'm going to have to go down that route.
Okay, so I was going to want to ask what the character is going to be. You know, I see the list you made out there as well. What's the character of this person?
I need someone who is serious, but also doesn't take himself too seriously. I think someone who's open-minded. And when I say open-minded, I don't want someone who is. I realize I don't want someone who's a traditionalist. I want someone who traditional in respecting me, but open to the idea that a woman can be strong and a woman can be an equal. Without I can be your equal, but we can still uphold each other's. That I'm feminine and he's masculine. I think those things can still be respected, but I can still be an equal to you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. On that note, I think we're going to go for a short break and we shall be back
All right.
on the other side. So, ladies and gentlemen, I told you it's exciting. We've got more questions, special questions for Feyi today. You don't want to miss the other half. So stay locked on, stay locked in. It's your host, Double9, on 35 and Social on Double9radio. It's Double9radio. Welcome back to 35 and Social, where we have our amazing, fantastic guest, Feyi. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited again to have her on the show. The excitement is just increasing, as the show goes. I hope you're having a good time as well. I want to say thank you to everyone who's sending questions. We will be asking the questions before the end of the show, trust me. But I must ask all my questions before I get to yours. Feyi, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So, just a quick recap. We talked about, what dating is from your perspective. You described it as a battleground, and adventures as well. But you have to be open-hearted to survive on the battleground as well, because a battleground brings adventure. And when you're in an adventurous position, you have to be open-minded so you can ensure that the battle does not swallow you up, which is quite amazing.
Yes.
We asked, would you date multiple partners? You said yes, unless you start getting intimate with one of them. You might as well just let them know. You watch what here is. Honesty is very key. In engaging with anyone. What are the do's and don'ts? You said make sure you listen to that inner voice of yours. Most of the 99% of the time is always correct. As well. What do you expect on our first date? When you go on that first date, you want someone who can chat to you, who can have a good conversation as well. What questions are acceptable on the first date? You said no questions, but you don't want to be asking me about how much is my bank account or what's my sexual preference. But maybe you can ask on a second date. I don't know. That's what Feyi said. She says, we should describe what's the description of a perfect date. Just a very simple, casual date where you can have a talk and get to know each other, but no alcohol involved because you want to get some nookie in that way. So, also, we said, what do you think social media has been? What impact has social media had on the dating scene? And also, would you use dating apps? I mean, a lot of people, create facades on those platforms as well. So, she's neither for or against, but she says, be careful as you use that as well. And what does this person have to look like to go on the first date? She says about 5'11". I had to put my hands up in the air and say, maybe, wow, that's a bit of a tall order. Yes, they're all tall. But she says, it doesn't matter, and she's not going to stop wearing heels. But if you're going to be shorter than 5'11" or 5'10", you must be good in bed, know how to cook. But I think that's another tall order as well. But what can I say? She says again, if you're to go on a date, she doesn't mind going to Nando's, but make sure you take her to the second date to that upscale restaurant. Again, Feyi, I want to say thank you for being on the show. It's amazing to have you on the show. I hope you're having a good time.
I'm hearing back the responses and hearing the answers that you chose. Fantastic.
No, but this are all answers you gave. I didn't make up all these answers. I'm not that.
You did, but I love your choices. I love the ones you picked out.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so you've gone on this first great date, maybe Nando's date, first Nando's date. Who knows? I don't know where it's gonna take you. But the bill comes after, you've had the starter, you had the main, and you had the dessert. The conversation was flowing, everything was all right, but no alcohol was involved. But the bill comes.
Mm-hmm.
Who pays the bill?
Oh, so there's where you're going to get me. I believe that if the guy invited me on the first date, he pays.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, very straightforward. I don't even have that. It's like a no. It's not even
not up for discussion.
That I'm not even ashamed of that. You invited me on the date. You're paying.
Okay.
First date. I think a man should be willing to be able to do that. I don't think there should be any, on the second date, we can decide, after we've talked, but on a first date, I think any man should want to pay on a first date.
Okay. I mean, the key word you mentioned there was if a man invited you out on a first date. What if it's the other way around? If you invited him out, does he still pay?
Even if I invited him out, then I would be picking up the bill. But I think that a man should want to pay. That's just my preference. It would make me more like, oh, okay, that's nice. If a man offered to pay. If I invite you out and you offer to pay, that'd be nice. But if I invite you out, then it means that I'm going to pay. But if you invite me out on a first date, and I do think that really the man should be the one asking, in my own view, I think that men are, the ones who are supposed to pursue, and women really are the ones who are supposed to decide. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so, Feyi says, the man has to pay. There's no 50-50 on this one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. It's 074-956-36899. You can call in live and direct into the studio. Don't be shy. Feyi's are quite nice to talk to, as well, as you can see.
I do bite.
Oh, she says she does bite, but don't worry. I don't know if she can bite you through the phone. It's not Friday the 13th, so you should be safe as well. So let's carry on. Okay, so we've come to a conclusion that yes, the man must pay on that first date. Okay, so let's talk about if you could think back through all those dates you've had, maybe in the past, maybe before you got married, or after all that, before you got separated, or do you know what I mean? What can you think back and say, what was the most embarrassing thing you can remember that happened to you on a date?
On a date? Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh, I feel a story coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, listen attentively.
I mean, I have to be very honest to say that I've been quite. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. I've been quite lucky in dates and with the men that I've dated in the past. I have had a few icky dates, but I think the most embarrassing. Have I had any embarrassing dates that I can remember? Maybe when I was in university. Yeah, in university. I think there was a guy who asked me out. And I think that's another thing, a man who is intimidated by your background. So I think he wasn't able to, I don't know, he just went funny. I think kind of realizing that, okay, maybe I wasn't, maybe, I'm not even sure how to put it, because it was just the way he said it. It was just knowing that, okay, he comes from a more privileged background than he did, and he just became very nasty. So I think that for me was something that I found really off-putting, because I think a man should be able to stand his ground regardless of, where a woman stands in life. He shouldn't feel threatened because, again, someone's situation, a person is very, I wouldn't judge a man based on his family. I would judge him, so I wouldn't want anyone to judge me based on where I'm coming from. I'd want them to see me and be able to take me as Obafake. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so you felt quite attacked when that individual mentioned.
I did. I felt because we were in university together, and I think I was very, as I said, I'm very down to earth. I'm very kind of. I get on with everyone. So I think maybe he was assuming that because of the way that I behaved, that maybe I wasn't. I can't even tell you what I thought, because it was just the things that he said to me. And I remember speaking to someone, an aunt of mine, and she said, if a man has such an inferiority complex, you need to walk away. So that's one of the things that I think that people also need to look out for. If a man is challenged, or if not even a man, if anyone is not able to see you and able to say, if I'm a strong, very strong woman, I sort of have my own mind, I speak up for myself. And if a man is intimidated by those traits, it would be better for him not to come, next to me, because I'm not going to downplay my personality or who I am.
Amazing.
Because of your, so I think
because
that's something that I did in the past that I'm not willing to do now.
Okay.
I have a big personality, I tend to attract a lot of people when I go out. And it's not something that I can switch on or switch off. So
it's you, isn't it?
It has to be a man that's confident enough to be able to stand in that light. And I think that a lot of people are challenged by that.
Okay.
So that would really be a big turn off for me if someone is intimidated by what they perceive I am or I'm not.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Throughout the show today, you've touched on honesty quite a lot, and also openness quite a lot, which I think is a good trait. But how much honesty do you believe is actually needed in a relationship?
So that is something that has been sort of like a sore spot in a lot of things that I've, been through, and even as with friendships or things, because I said, people struggle with honesty. Like, I would rather know what is happening around me than to be seen as a fool or to be, so it's like, I've dated guys who were seeing other people, but I was aware of it. And it was my decision if I wanted to stay in that relationship or not. But if I'm with someone and you're pretending to be, we've all made the mistake before, do you understand? But I think there has to be a time where you're willing to stand by your mistakes and you're willing to say, you know what, I goofed or I messed up, or, look, I like this woman, I saw this woman, I liked her. And allow the person to make, it might end your relationship, but you have to be willing to stand for the right thing. And I realize that for me, it's a big deal. It's like something that I'm not able to sort of play with. Like, I don't like to be lied to. I don't think it's something that people like, even as difficult. And that's why I said, if you know yourself, if you know you're a guy who is a player or who's something, then, if someone tells you that these are the kind of values that they have and you can't live with those values, then it's better for you not to get involved in that person that's like that. But if you're able to be out front and say, look, this is what I am, this is, I have a roving eye, I like women. Give the person the opportunity to be able to say, you know what, that's fine. At least just be honest with me. Be honest about what you're doing.
Okay. I like that. So, the question, on that question, so you think 100% honesty at all times, regardless of what it is?
I think I would, it's a difficult one, but I would actually say, it's what I would tell children, be honest. It's better to be honest, and just, you have to face the consequences, yes. But I think honesty is much better than living a lie or going around trying to live a story that you can't keep up with. I believe in honesty.
Okay. So how have you dealt with, as you mentioned as well, honesty is very key. Sometimes a lot, people tend not to be as honest and create some kind of facade, but eventually, the facade would disappear because it's not real, is it?
Yeah.
So how have you dealt in situations where individuals have broken your trust, or anyone has broken your trust? How have you dealt with that situation?
Well, these things are, again, if it's a relationship that you want to save, I think for me, I am someone who is willing to, if I see that you are repentant, if I see that you're honest about your feelings, like, you really feel bad about what you've done. I do believe in second chances. I do believe in giving someone a chance. But if you keep messing up on those chances, then I think it's time to walk away.
Okay.
I'm not going to stay in something that is causing me, unnecessary pain, especially at this time of my life.
Of course, that's very real. The point you make there is about giving that chance. That chance means that
honestly, yeah, exactly. You have a good opportunity to be able to. I'm a forgiving person, but I think there comes a time where everyone has to stand up and sort of be woman about it or be man about it and stand up for what, you believe in. And if you feel like this thing that I'm doing, I'm not able to stop it, or I'm not able to, sort of control myself, do you understand? Then it's better to walk away, But if you're able to be like, look, I've repentant, I'm not going to do this anymore, then I think that, people can discuss things. You can make things work.
Yeah, you're quite right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back into a bit of dating again as well. We just had to ensure that we get some more of those questions out there. So if you can go back and remember the most boring date you've been on, can you remember any?
So what did you say?
The most boring date you've ever been on.
A boring?
Yeah, boring date. I like that. At least you can laugh a bit about it now, isn't it?
Like a boring date. Wow. I'm sure that there've been boring days, but honestly, I can't remember because there wouldn't be a second one.
I mean, yes.
It's like if we're struggling to, and I told you, conversation is really important. So if we're struggling to have conversation, if we're struggling to find a connection, then there's no point.
Okay. So
if it doesn't flow, that's why you'd have spoken on this. For me, I think that before you go on a date with someone, you'd have spent some time, chatting, talking. And if it doesn't flow, then you wouldn't be having the first date.
Okay. So you can't remember.
Understand?
Yeah, I do. So, can't really place any boring date you thought, oh my gosh, what is this? Get me out of here. You can't remember any of it?
No, I can't remember.
Okay, maybe you're trying to spare them.
I'm being honest, I can't remember.
I understand.
I can't remember.
Trying to spare the blushes of the person. I understand. It's okay. It's okay.
No, I really honestly, I can't remember because, like I said, before I'm going to, if I'm going to go on, and it's been so long, so if I'm going to go on a date with someone, it would have to be someone that I'm attracted to.
Okay. So have your parents ever disapproved of any of your relationships in the past, present?
And who has, sorry, can you say that again?
Have your parents ever disapproved of any of your relationships?
Of course they have.
Oh my
word.
word.
Of course. Like when I was younger, I was always dating the bad boys. So yeah, many my parents have disapproved.
Okay.
Well, maybe not my mom. I kind of grew up with grandparents as well. So yeah, many that my grandparents have disapproved of. My mom was cool, so.
Okay, fantastic. Would you date someone your friend already dated?
No. Wait. I tell a lie. There's someone that my friend, yes, there's someone who I've dated who has actually dated a few, but I didn't know him at that time.
Right.
So it was afterwards I realized that he had dated a few people that became my friends or were my friends before.
Okay, and how did your friends handle that? Was that okay? Was that,
It was fine. I have even like ex-boyfriends that now I'm friends with, like their wives. And I'm very low maintenance. I'm very easy. Like their wives call me, and I think my exes are not very happy.
Okay, fantastic. We talked about again, honesty again. How important it is in a relationship as well.
Yes.
How much you believe it is. How much you also, and how you dealt with when your trust was broken at some point.
Yeah.
But apart from honesty, what else do you value most about relationships, or in a relationship?
So I think for someone who values me as a person, I think that's very important. You appreciate what I bring to the table. You appreciate me as a human being. It's very important that the person that I'm with, sort of sees me and is, when I'm trying to find the word, when a person sees you and they appreciate the human being that you are. It's just for the little things. I'm a big romantic, so you're happy to see me. I kind of, I don't think I asked for too much, but I think, for you to be able to appreciate me and know that, this is someone who puts a smile on my face and I want to put a smile on their face back. I think that's very important to me. So honesty and you just wanting to make me happy and, very simple things. I don't think I have many big things. And yeah, you want to spoil me as well. It's fine. It's good.
Oh wow, no romantic. Oh my gosh, she likes a bit of romance, romance thing.
Well, I mean, romance is different for people. Like for me, romance it's not just about flowers or whatever, but when you listen to a person, like someone who listens to me, and in listening to me, you're able to figure out, this is what Feyi likes, Feyi Kemi really likes, when, this is her favorite show, so let me just try and make sure that we're around to watch it, or, be with her in the kitchen when she's cooking, or, they're just little things that just make you smile,
Yeah.
I had a bad day, and then maybe you book me, a spa day or something. Just things that just makes me know that you thought about me. So it's not just generic. You just didn't go into a shop and just were like, here, look at this bag. Let me just buy a bag. No. Fantastic. You thought about me.
Okay.
And you were like, this is, Obafemi Kemi will really, really appreciate this. This will put a smile on her face.
Fantastic. Okay. Let's turn the heat a bit up in the room. Let's turn it up. What is a player?
Turn the heat up, okay?
What is a player in your own words?
Yeah. Say?
What is a player in your own words? What do you think of who's a player?
A player for me is just someone that's dishonest.
Wow. Okay.
It's simple and short. You're just dishonest. That's it. Like, you're dishonest. Look, I don't even find a guy who mucks about and is honest.
Again, Feyi, we have this notion as when we think about a player, it's a guy. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do we always?
But girls can be players too.
Exactly that.
Yeah. That's why I said a dishonest person.
Okay, I'll let you finish. Then we'll go into more into that. Okay. Because the heat has to be turned up.
I think a player is just, I don't know. A player is someone who just thinks they're slick, and is being dishonest in their slickness.
Okay. That's your definition.
The word.
That's the word.
Slickiness.
The slickiness. Oxford Dictionary. It was exclusive on Double9radio. Feyi came up with a word, slickiness.
Slickiness.
Well. We need to check it out. I'm not sure, but I mean, you're right. It's that, and plus other things as well. But are women better players?
I have to say that I think that women are better players.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's it. I was gonna go into one. If you get me a different answer on that one, I was just gonna go into one. But yes, please elaborate on that.
I told you about honesty. So I just think that women are more. Women think more. So I would say that women could definitely be better players than men.
Is it okay?
It's just that men think that they created the game, so they always over process. Women are very simple.
They created the game, but women are the coach. Yeah.
I'm not going to sell out my sisters, so it's okay.
It's amazing.
Just know that women, guys just need to be less arrogant. Basically, I think a lot of women allow men to feel, big. A woman has the potential to possibly end a man's playerness if women were to be honest with men. I think there would be a lot less men that would be players.
Wow. Okay, that's from Feyi there. I'm learning a lot on this show myself as well. Okay, so what do you think about long distance relationships? Is that a no-no for you, or maybe something? Are you for or against?
I think long distance relationships, it can work. If again, I'm back to my first two things, truth and trust. If there's truth and trust, then yes, a long distance relationship can work. But if you're in a long distance relationship with a player, just know that you're in a relationship with yourself. That's all. It's just trust and honesty. If there's trust and honesty and you guys are, you're honest with each other, then yes, a long distance relationship can work. But I don't like when people are in situations and you're not being open about what else is going on. Like I know some people who are in long distance relationships, they think that their partner is being faithful, but so yeah.
I mean, I'm going to read out a comment I just got from one of our listeners here. Is from
All right.
from Queen. the one and only Marcelina. Stop. Okay, we're talking about the perfect player or the player thing.
Hey, Marcelina.
I don't know if she's for or against, but she says women are moved by feelings, not physical.
Yeah.
Most men don't plan. When a woman is done, she moves on. Men crawl back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem to agree with that.
I kind of think that the thing is that a lot of men don't realize that women give you very long ropes, right? But once a woman is done with that rope, she's done. Like, there's literally, it takes a long time to be able to get that rope back. You know, men, because women have, you can push a woman to a wall. You can push her to the wall. But once she's on that wall and she has her back to the wall, it's very difficult to try. And that's why women will give you a very long rope. You know, men tend to give you, short there, they'll mess up and then, okay, we'll come back, we'll try. But a woman will allow you. She'll allow you, you dig the grave, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. But by the time you get to 6 foot, she's just going to allow you to just bury yourself. And that's the end of that.
Okay, man, beware.
It's just because we're more, I think that a lot more women, I never say it's not all women because there's never, but a lot of women are open to just forgiving, so that it's like, we will give you a chance, we'll give you a chance and we're ready to listen and be like, okay, but sometimes guys push your luck. And then by that time when you pushed finally, you push out of the window, she has reached the ground. Once she gets there, many women will literally be like, once that's done, that's done. But, guys are able to stay in a relationship even if they're not happy.
Right. Okay.
Once a woman has gotten to a point where it's affecting her and it's very difficult to get. I mean, it's not saying that it's not possible, but it's kind of difficult. Once you pushed her one too many times, I think if the door is shut, many women will refuse to go back to, a relationship that has really caused a lot of
pain,
anguish. If that woman is a healed woman, if that woman has sort of got herself in a position of knowing herself, she's not going back. If a woman doesn't know herself, she'll go back. But if she knows herself and she knows her value and worth, she's not going back. Yeah.
That's some deep conversations going on this afternoon.
I love deep conversations. That's one of my, I love it. Find a deep conversation, you'll find me somewhere there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what will be your advice for the single lads and single ladies out there?
I think that people should spend more time creating relationships with themselves first. I think people should spend more time dating themselves, getting to know themselves, and that's both men and women. Getting to know themselves, first of all, getting to know what they like, getting to know what they don't like, getting to really know themselves, being comfortable with being alone, first of all. And then so that that, you are, I think we've all been sold this story about, you're my other half. No, you're supposed to be two wholes. So you need a whole person. So, that's one of the fairy tales that we were fed, growing up, that, you needed someone to complete you. No, you need to be complete yourself first. So if I was to give advice to anyone who's, still single, who's, just looking to date, I would say that, date yourself, learn to be comfortable with yourself, learn to know what you like, even for, a lot of women, and I'll say women, and I'm not sure how, detailed we can get now. Am I able to speak more detail?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of men are more, free with themselves, like, they're intimate with their bodies, they know how to pleasure themselves, they know how to, but a lot of women are not able to do that because it's been taboo for women to, to learn about their bodies and to be able to even explore with their bodies. But I think that more women need to know what they even like, what turns them on, what makes them happy, so that they're even able to communicate that with someone else. A lot of women are waiting for men to show them what they like. And I think that has to change. So if I'm speaking to my females, I would tell my females to begin to know themselves, begin to, find out what makes them happy, what gives them joy, what gives them pleasure, what their desires are before, bringing in a man that will come in. And I would say the same thing for a man. If a man doesn't know himself, he should take that opportunity to know what he wants, what he's really looking for. He can play if he wants to, but if he is ready for a serious relationship, then he needs to have sold all those things out and be ready to focus, or just be ready to be more honest and open with whoever he's, willing to enter a relationship with. I know that it's okay to, let your emotions show once in a while. Yeah. It doesn't make you a soft guy.
It doesn't make you a soft guy. So
doesn't make you a soft guy.
I mean, on the female side, I can see a lot of people sending messages in, and they kind of agree with you. Saying things like, "It's true. Date yourself. Know who you are. Anyone who comes into you should add, not subtract."
Not, oh my God! You see, that's the thing. Women have been taught how to communicate, and I think we need a lot more of our men, learning that it's okay to communicate. It's okay to be in touch with their feelings. It's okay to be, to show more of their. And when I say feminine, I don't mean female. To just allow some of their feminine energy to come out a lot more. So to be in touch with their sensitivity, be in touch with their compassionate side.
Okay.
You don't have to be hard all the time. You can allow, some of your softness to show. It's okay. I think it makes you more attractive.
Okay.
It makes you much more sexy, to a woman, a man who is able to. That's why a lot of gay men get a lot of females around them. So imagine having that kind of, compassionate and, nice feminine side, but in a man's man. Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We see your thought process there. Okay, let's talk about what you do. You describe yourself as an intuitive chef.
I'm an intuitive chef. Yes, that's what I am.
What is an intuitive chef?
So basically, I'm sure if anyone's been listening to me, they would have heard that I'm very much into my intuition. I'm very much into energy and into feelings. And it's the same thing with food. So I believe that our food speaks to us. I believe that our body, is able to communicate to us what we should and we shouldn't have. If we listen more to our body, we'd be able to, know what to feed it. So as an intuitive chef, what I do is help people understand what their body is looking for. And I create food that is geared towards, holistically, nourishing and feeding people. And it tastes damn good as well.
Amazing. So can people patronize you and maybe order some food? Is that you can, yeah?
Yes, you can. So at the moment, I have a lovely pepper sauce that I've just launched. It's a mango and pineapple scotch bonnet sauce. It's called Jungle Sauce. And you can find that on my website, which is www.wildfresh.co.uk. Wildfresh, I'm sure you can hear the name. Wildfresh.co.uk. And also my Instagram page is Wildfresh Kitchen. And there you can, I think on my website as well, you can book me for events. So I do private dining. I don't do big catering, so private dining, anything between 2 and 30 people, I'm able to do those kind of events. Anywhere that you're able to fly me, drive me, send me a train, I can get down there and I will be your personal chef, your private chef for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're looking for. And I also have sort of like lunch, dinner boxes that I can also create for people as well. So I'm more of a boutique chef, so I create menus and, meals for people.
Okay, fantastic. That's really great.
Yeah.
We will give away. We'll talk about the.
Oh, and I'm a plus size model as well. So if anyone's looking for a model, I model as well.
Amazing. You can find that on Instagram. That's is it at Obafemi _Luther?
Yeah, Obafeyi Kemi.
Sorry, Obafeyi Kemi. My apologies on that. Obafeyi Kemi at Obafeyi Kemi _Luther. You can find that on Instagram as well. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, we just want to take 2 quick questions because quite a number of questions have come in, and I apologize if I don't, ask your question. So this first question is from Janet in Hounslow. Is it important to date many people before getting married, or is it better to be with one person your entire life?
So this is for me, and I'm sorry, I believe that you should date many people before you get married. I would definitely, and that's why I was talking about, you can decide, you don't have to be intimate with everyone that you date. So depending on your religious beliefs, you don't have to. People forget that the word dating, it doesn't really have to do with sex all the time. And even though I am, Christian by background, I believe that you have to know that you have a connection with the person. I do, and I'm not apologetic about it. So I think that you have to have some form of experience. I don't take anything away from people who have just been with one person, but I think when I look at the world and I see how many people are in it, I think that we're supposed to at least get to know other people, get to know what you like, and that's why it's important to date yourself, so that you even have a clue about what you're looking for, and then you can easily say no, because once you know yourself, you're going to be more strong in your stand as to your standards and what you don't want. Okay. And that's for guys as well. I know there's this myth about guys, you should, sleep with as many people, but like, I don't want my husband to be like a guy that everybody has, been with. But at the same time, I think everyone just needs to have their own choice and not just do it because, that's what guys do. No. Okay. I think everyone needs to be able to have some sort of, just know what you stand for and what you want. It shouldn't be about what anybody else says or wants. But, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to date people. I want to be able to, understand what you want and make that very clear. You must listen to your own voice. Your voice has to be very loud.
Fantastic.
To yourself.
Fantastic. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. I'm feeling to bring you on another show because you're quite, intense when it comes to relationship matters, which is quite amazing. Okay.
I love it.
Just a quick one on this one. Quick answer on this one. How do you tell if other people or if the other person is enjoying the date when you are on one? That's Gemma from Grace.
How can you not know? So if you're not able to tell if the other person is enjoying the date, that means you're not enjoying. That means the person is not enjoying the date.
Okay, as you hear that from, that's it.
I think that if you're enjoying the date, there are little things that you would know. Even if the person is quiet, I think you will see by their body language. There's a way that they'll be relaxed. I think there's just be a flow, and you'll feel it. That's why I'm saying that people need to learn to listen to themselves more. If we're just a lot more connected with ourselves, you will feel it. You will know. You'll feel the I'll call it electricity. You'll feel the energy if it's working, and if it's not working, you will know.
Amazing.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Of course, I think that's really clear. Yeah, that's really clear on that one.
Yeah, there's just a feeling. You'll just know. If the person is bored, you will tell.
Okay.
If the person is pretending, you will tell. When someone is enjoying themselves, they can't. It's not something that you need to ask anyone. You will just know.
Okay, great. Okay, so one more time, just give out the details of your website and your products, and also your Instagram page as well.
All right. So you can follow me on Instagram at either Obafeyikemi_Lusa or at wildfresh_kitchen, or you can follow me on both. In fact, follow me on both. And my website page is www.wildfresh.co.uk, where you can find, if you go to the shop, you'll find my jungle sauce, which is a mango pineapple Scotch bonnet sauce that is totally out of this world. You can use it as a marinade. It's a dip. I use it on ice cream. I use it on everything. It's hot, but it's delicious. And that's where you can get a little taste of my adventurous side. Because as I said, not all rules apply. So you have to be willing to try things and you know,
open,
be open-minded.
adventurous.
So yeah,
it's a battlefield out there. That's the word.
It's a battlefield.
You know,
be prepared.
Be prepared.
And guys, open your heart. You know, you can't be in a relationship if you're not ready to be hurt. You know, it's all part of the
journey,
the experience.
Yes,
might have to, you know, kiss a few frogs first, but you know, it's all part of the experience. Enjoy it and just, you know, just have fun.
Amazing. Feyi Kemi, it's been amazing. It's been great.
It's amazing. Thanks.
I've had a great time on the show. I think I might bring you back. Who knows? So, ladies and gentlemen, watch your space. But it's been amazing. I've had such a great time. Have a fantastic evening and keep listening to Double9radio.
Thank you so much.